My name is Bob Horn, and I am a mix engineer. I've been an engineer for the past 20 years, working in a lot of different genres: hip-hop, R&B, pop, smooth jazz, Korean pop, all kinds of different stuff, indie and major label stuff. I have a studio in North Hollywood, California called the Echo Bar, and I work out of there. I've worked with a lot of different artists, from Michael Jackson to Neo, Brandy, Timbaland, Akon, bands like Everclear and the Common Kings, smooth jazz artists like Brian Culbertson, Dave Koz, a lot of different genres, stuff from overseas, K-pop, do a lot of different things, mostly mixing, occasional production and writing, and a little bit of recording. It's important for musicians to understand what we do in the production process for many reasons, just for us to be able to communicate, and they can trust us with their songs and know that we're there to help them get the best performances and the best representation of their song. Also, it's important for musicians to collaborate with producers and professionals. I think we can bring something that they may not be familiar with to their songs and make them better. My favorite JST plugin is Transify, and I think that plugin is very powerful in a lot of ways that may not be obvious to people looking for a transient plugin. I use it on a lot more than just drums, especially because it's multi-band. You can do really amazing things with reverbs, choosing what parts of reverb you want to elongate or shorten. I put it on piano today, really brought out the attack of the piano, which usually I'd have to use a lot of EQ to do that. I can just manipulate audio in a way that nothing else has been able to do as smoothly. So that's probably my favorite JST plugin. The thing I like most about JST plugins is that they're not like all the other plugins out there. There's hundreds and hundreds of plugins we have to choose from, and the JST plugins just really stand out. They kind of have their own vibe, their own tone, and it's clear to me that they're coming from someone, one person developing them, and his vibe is in them and his sound that he likes, and I really appreciate that because they're very unique, and I can really pick them out. When I'm working with them, they really stand out as unique and individual. Composing, writing music, I use things like Native Instruments, Complete Bundle, things like Spectrasonics, Omnisphere, guitar plugins. I really like Joey Sturgis, Menace, some of the plugins by UAD. All the plugins, really, even audio plugins, are great for composing. I really like being able to manipulate stock sounds to make something more interesting. When writing music, usually we start with either a single guitar part or a drum beat in mind. Occasionally, the old school way of starting with a melody or chords, and usually lay out a template in Pro Tools, kind of decide our arrangement, maybe a rough arrangement of the song, verse, chorus, bridge, and all that stuff, and start laying down something that we can get a vibe from. So maybe drums and a basic instrument, and then maybe a scratch vocal with some melodies, and kind of build off of that. Once the foundation is there, it's easy to work on extra parts, overdubs, things that enhance the song, just build the production up that way. In my opinion, the key to a great production is not overproducing. So many things these days have just layers and layers of sounds and tracks, and they kind of, to me, distract from the song. The lyrics and the melody and the vocal in most genres are what you're selling, and if the production is too dense and too distracting, it can really take the listener away from the song. So the maturity of just putting exactly what's needed to enhance the song itself is the best way to go about production. The new tools we have in digital versus the old way of recording in analog, I think, are actually helping us to make some of the best music we've ever had. A lot of people think digital is vibeless or sterile. I actually disagree. I think digital is a clear window picture, and whatever you give it is whatever it gives you back. So if you need good tones and good sound, you got to get that and give that to digital, where analog in the old days used to kind of help color the sound. Now you kind of got to get your color ahead of time and feed that to the digital world, and if you do, I think you can get amazing sounds, and with the powers of editing and endless track counts and just not having the rewind tape and stuff, I think digital is just such a better way of making records. It really can sound awesome. Sometimes we have the best sounding records we've ever had. The JST plugins have kind of impacted my own workflow creatively, because they'll either do things that are surprising to me, I wasn't expecting, which is a great thing when you're creating, happy surprises. Turn a knob and something happens you weren't expecting, and you get a new sound. You actually had a whole nother intention before you reach for that knob, but they give you something magical. And the JST plugins just really help me to create what I want easily, and sometimes I even achieve things that I wasn't expecting. To me, the JST plugins stand out on their own. They're not like a lot of other plugins. They're not sterile at all. They have a lot of vibe to them. There's features on the JST plugins that are very cool and very unique. I think they are very creative plugins, and they have a lot of vibe to them, a lot of individuality. They're not really just other plugins cloned from other manufacturers. They're very much their own thing. And I think people are really going to enjoy them. I think because JST plugins are so unique, people will find them valuable in all aspects of audio, as far as creating and writing, mixing, production. Sounds that you have been using and reusing over and over again, you can breathe new life into them, and I think people are really going to enjoy that. Go check out the JST plugins. I love them. I use them. I only found them recently, and I was mad that I didn't know about them earlier. They're that dramatic in my world of mixing, and I own hundreds and hundreds of plugins, so they really stand out to me, and I think you guys are going to enjoy them a lot.